Good morning, Panthers. Mr. Wenish here. This will be our last video until I come back on Monday. So our goal is still basically the same. We're still trying to make those images from multi-view projections. And so I'm going to go to the next screen here. You should hopefully have this worksheet in front of you right now. And it basically is a packet. It's about 8 pages long. I'm not going to read through this part. I am going to point out in materials, they do tell you that you do need some wooden blocks. You need 7 square cubes, 1 square cube with a hole in it, 2 triangles, 1 that's half a round, and 1 that's a full round or a cylinder. So in order to work on this project, those are the things that you will need. And I'll tell you what part, or when you'll get to it, that you'll need them. So if you go to the next page, go to page 2. On page 2, you're just going to see matching. And basically, you saw these A, B, C, D, E, F, G already. Those are the ones that 2 days ago, you were supposed to use these orthogramic images or multi-view projections to make the actual image. And so now I'm going to see if you can match them up, if you can line them up. And so I'm going to go ahead and do the first one for you. And so I want to start with, always remember this is the top here. The first one is the top. And then this over here is the front view. And finally, we have our side view. So if we look at the top, that means we're standing above it looking down at the three-dimensional object. That means like we're looking down at this area. We're looking down here. When you look down from the top view, this is saying that there should be a hole in the front. Right there should be a hole. And so we have a hole in this one. We've got that hole here. We've got that hole here. We do not have the hole in the middle there. It's not in the middle there. There's no hole at all there. And we do not have the hole in the middle there. So the only options we have for letter A are this one, and this one. Now I'm going to go to the front view. There's lots of different ways you do it, but I'm just going to go right to the front view. That means I'm looking at this part up here. If you look at this, this has no holes in it at all in the front view. Well, this one has a hole. So this one's eliminated. It can't be this one. This one does not have a hole, so it could be that one. This one does not, or this one does have a hole, so it can't be this one. So right now I know it has to be, number 2 has to be letter A. But let's go ahead and look at the side view just to verify. So the side view is saying when you look at the side, you cannot see any holes, but you know there is a hole there because there's a dotted line. And so when I look at this side view, I don't see anything missing, but there is something missing further in. That's what the dotted line means. Again, with this one, I cannot see if there's something missing, but the dotted line is telling me that, yep, there it is. Whereas if I go down to this one is saying, hey, I can see if there's something missing. And so that would be a solid line. It wouldn't be a dotted line. And so like right here, this is a solid line. So that would be something like this one right here where there's something missing. So just go ahead and figure out the other 6. And I'm going to go on to the next one. All right, so on page 3, it basically goes over how to do this here, right here. And they are using colored pencils, red, blue, green. And I'm going to go back up. Instead of using colored pencils, we're going to just, rather than coloring the top red, we're just going to write the letter T. So that whatever is a top piece, we're going to write T. Whatever is a front piece, we're going to write F. Whatever is the side piece, we're going to write side, S for side. So top, front, side. Then we're going to draw them in on the sign. Top view, well, I'll show you in just a second where each quadrant is. And each small square represents 1 inch. And finally, you should always have everything lined up. And you draw in your hidden lines when you need hidden lines, and draw in straight lines when you need straight lines. And so what they mean by that is, with this one, here's our top. Oh, you can't see it though. It's different colored ink. So here's our top. Here's our top. So I'd write a T in over here, and a T in over here. And then this is 2, this is 2. So they made this 2 squares long. They made this one 2 squares long. This one here is 4 squares long. This front view. That is will be our front. So in their front, they made it 4 blocks long. But I want to point out, they started right where this one started. They stopped right where this one stopped. And then finally, they did their side views. And that's only 1 and 1. And again, they started right where that one started. And they stopped right where that one stopped. And they drew a line in the middle right where that hole is. Because you can see that hole when you look at the side. You can see there's something missing there. Same with the top view. When you look down at it, you can see it. There's something missing there. So they drew a straight line that lined up where that hole is at. All right, so now I'm going to do one more with you guys. So I'm going to start off with, this is my top. This is my front. And then I got my side. And I actually have to put 2 S's. I've got 2 sides here. Normally when you draw these, you always want to start with the front view. And so my front view is too long. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line 2 blocks long. Then it goes down 2. Then over 1. Then down 2. Over 1. And then up 4. So that's my front view. Now I'm going to draw in my top view. I'm going to make sure I start right where that one stopped. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go up 1 because that's all it is. It's just 1 here. Then I'm going to go over 2. Then that's as far as that one went. So I'm lined up. And then I'm going to go back 1, down 1. And then over again. That is my top view. Right now I cannot see that there's a hole right here. And since I can't see that, I need to make a dashed line in here. And so just going to make a couple of dots for my dashed line. Now my side view. So I got to start right where this one started, and it should be 1 block long. And then it should go down 2. And then technically I'm going to go back over where this goes over here. But I'm only going to go over 1 and then up. So that's this side. But there's technically 2 sides. And so now I'm going to draw my second one in, the one down below, go down 2, over 1, up 2. There's my side. I've got my straight line in there because now I can see there's a hole there. So I drew a straight line through the middle. That one is done. And now I believe there's like 3 more for you to do on pages 5 and 6. And so I'm going to go to page 7. I'll give you a second to get on page 7 here. On page 7, they want you to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different images out of those blocks that I was talking about earlier. So you should be getting when you're ready, when you've got the drawings done, you should get a bag of wood blocks. There should be in each bag, 7 squares. And again, it's on the front of your paper. 1 square with a hole in it, 2 triangles, 1 that's a circle, and 1 that's half a circle. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of walk through this first one with you. And then once you're done, you always want to take a picture of that and submit that to Schoology. So let's go ahead and take a look at that first one. So when I make these, I usually start at the top view. And so you can see at the top view, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and take this and slide it up so you can't even see anything else. And so with my top view, you can see I've got my circle, so I put a circle here, and I got my square. I got my square with a hole. This one actually doesn't have a hole drilled through it. Someone just drew a hole on there. If you're missing a block with a hole, but you have one that has a hole drawn on it, that's fine. Just go ahead and use that. And then we got another square and another square. So now my top view is good. That's what my top view basically looks like. But now I'm going to look at our front view to see if we're missing anything. And so you can see right off the bat that right in the middle, there should be a block up, another block added. And so the most common mistake everyone makes is they just go ahead and take a block and put it on top of the block with the hole in it. But you can tell 2 things. 1, this is not a dotted line. If that was a dotted line, that means it would be covered up. 2, this right here is the hole in the block. You can see it's above the other block, which means This block needs to be below this one. I actually have to switch those two around. I have to put the one with the hole in it on top, the one without the hole below. All right. And then another common mistake is people look at this and go, oh, that's not a circle, that's a square. And so they take this circle, they remove it, and they replace it with a square. That is incorrect. You do not want to replace that one. That one is good. It just, because it's a two-dimensional image, you can't draw this to make it look like a circle from the side view. From the side, a circle basically looks like a square. You can only see it's a circle from the top view because it's a two-dimensional view. All right, so now our top view is good. Our front view is good. Now we're going to take a look at our side view. So I'm going to go to the next image here. So when we look at our side view, you can see that it says, hey, there's a triangle right here. There's something going on. You can see how there's that line going through there. Because that line is not dashed, we know it should be on the very end. If it was a dashed line, then we wouldn't know. Maybe it was supposed to be here, maybe it's supposed to be here, maybe it's supposed to be here. We actually wouldn't know where exactly it goes. But because it's a solid line, we know it has to be on the end. And so basically, this is what the image number 1 should look like. Your triangle here, then a square, square on the bottom, square at the hole, square, circle. And I just want to show you, when I took this picture from the side view, or from the front view, you can see, you can't tell that this is a triangle. Because when you make a two-dimensional image, and you look down from the top view, you can't draw a triangle. Not from the top. You can only see a triangle two-dimensionally from the side. And I just want to point out this here, this is your circle. You see how that circle looks a lot like a square? And two-dimensionally, I can't make that look like a circle from this view. All right, that's page 7. The last page is page 8. On page 8, you're going to build a model out of the blocks. You should use every single block. So you should have all 12 blocks in your model. After you build it, you're going to draw your top view, your front view, and your side view. And then you're going to finish it up by seeing if one of your classmates can build what you drew. And then for this one, I'm going to have you take a picture of it with your drawing. So you're going to submit both your drawing and the picture of what you built together. All right, that should do it. I'll see you on Monday to see how things went. Have a great weekend.